Well, I'm making a video about Scorpio. I'm gonna make a video about all the zodiac signs. I'm gonna make a video about I'm gonna do one for Scorpio. Scorpio is more like sexual energy, emotional energy, creative energy. I'm a Scorpio, even though in Vedic astrology I'm a Libra, but I consider myself more Scorpio. Let me talk about many different artists, especially, I mean, not many, but I'll talk about Rihanna specifically. What she did is that she released a lot of her albums in the sign of Scorpio, which means from the way that I see it is that she actually wants to use the energy in Scorpio specifically to capitalize on other people's sexual energy to get as big of an output as possible from it, so that she could essentially like and get as much energy or wealth and success from that capitalization or capitalization. Let me go through essentially, but that's after her first album was in Virgo, because essentially the way that they wanted to shape her public image. I mean, people weren't really conscious of zodiac or anything like that as much as now, I guess, or energy, but I feel like it was released on that insane sign because she wanted to capitalize on she wanted to essentially create a public image around her being a nurturing female that's more grounded and also soft too, and practical, and so that's why she released her first album in Virgo, and they actually have a theme of softness basically. And her other album was released in Aries, which is action oriented. She wanted a more Mars energy. And then she released it in another album, Gemini. Basically, I think she wanted to capitalize on the communication aspects of her work, and she wanted to embody that. And also her other album, I think it's in Capricorn, because she needs stability as a kind of like more stable energy as a performer. So I think her first 4 albums were about creating a public image around her character. And then it was more like about, let's say, capitalizing or using her ability as an artist to create a theme around sexual energy or sexuality, or let's say deep topics, emotions specifically, not necessarily sexuality, but emotions. And use about 3 albums where she essentially capitalized on people's sexual energy in a way where she can get as much output as possible, much abundance as possible from that. And then her last album, Anti, was released in the season of Aquarius, which was interesting because it was more like a deep emotional album, but it was more like about how I feel like she released it in a different energy, in different sign or zodiac sign or different energy, because she didn't want to go too Scorpio. She didn't want to use one energy too much, but she wanted to continue on energy. So I think the theme of her work, the one that she wanted, is progression probably, or idealism. Not idealism. I think that'll be more Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius. Aquarius is about ideals too. So let's see, ideals, progression, maybe even transition into humanitarianism. Also Aquarius, but probably progression, idealism, type of energy. She wanted that energy as a way to affect her newest album. I get into other artists, like for instance, Beyonce released so many albums in the zodiac sign of Virgo, with that energy, because she really needed people to see her as this soft, nurturing, soft girl, or not soft girl, but feminine, grounded type of person. And she kind of wanted to capitalize off of that energy because she wanted people to see her as that. And then it's more like, and her essentially album 4 and the first album, those two albums were both Virgo albums, and I think another album too. Her second album, I'm not sure which one it was. I think it was also Virgo. Also, so her third album, I forgot her album. Partition was in Aquarius, which basically means that she wanted to think, or Sagittarius actually, Sagittarius, because I think she wanted to essentially challenge people's beliefs, which Sagittarius is about. It's also fiery too, so it's action, or like, let's say, in the center of attention, passionate, and also it's about philosophy and challenging people's beliefs. That's a Sagittarius album that she had. And then I think the last album was in Leo, which basically meant that she wanted to be a magnification. It's very strategic because she wanted to be a magnification, but she didn't want to go too deep because she already had those themes in her albums. She wanted to kind of like magnify her personality to be more, let's say, cheerful or passionate, or let's say more like about passion or sexual creativity and stuff like that. While the other Lemonade album was kind of like in Taurus, which is about sexual pleasure, which is interesting theme about it, or craving and stuff like that, sexuality. This is the album. I at first thought it was a mismatch of energies, but I think she capitalized on that energy of Taurus energy. Also, Sasha Fierce was released in the album was released in Scorpio, which means that she wanted to really capitalize on specifically people's emotions and how the emotional appeal that people have towards her and her music will make her, let's say, more of a, will create that public image around her. Katy Perry, well, I can talk about auto artists, but I'm surprised that most of Katy Perry's albums was about Virgo energy. She wanted the soft nurturing. She wanted to actually discover through her artwork. That's what I'm reading. She wanted to discover her more soft, nurturing, grounded side of her through her art, or through her albums. So she released her albums in Virgo, some of them. Also, she wanted to challenge their ability to communicate through her music and to express through writing. She wants to challenge that aspect of herself, so it's very personal. and she released those albums in where she wants to challenge that communication aspects of her. She released those albums in the sign of Gemini. Also, yeah. She's kind of that type. I would think it's Sagittarius. Her ET album is more Sagittarius energy, but it's actually a Virgo. She wanted to actually discover her femininity and discover her soft feminine expression side, and the one that's more grounded too. The first album also was that, and her second, I think, or her first and second, her third album was in Capricorn. I think she wanted stability specifically as her theme, and that's probably why she kind of like changed direction from fame to like more a personal lifestyle, because she wanted stability. That's why she released her third album, that sign, and then she went to become Gemini person, or she became more communicable. Or she wanted to challenge her expression even more and release her other album. I forget whether it was in Gemini or another sign, but whatever. What's surprising that Drake didn't have a lot of albums. Well, he had some albums released as Scorpio, but Drake is a Scorpio. He has some, I think, I'm not sure, but he had a lot of some albums released as Scorpio, but not as much as I thought. I'll talk about Drake later, and how I think that his public image is around him being sexual or emotional, is kind of, her public image is kind of fake, I guess, but whatever. But again,